Okay, welcome everybody. Can you hear me back there? I'd like to call this meeting to order for June 17th, West Rock Hill Township Board of Supervisors meeting. Would you all please rise and join me in the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you all for coming. First request I'd like to have, if anybody has cell phones on them, would you please make sure you silence them for us during the meeting? Thank you. First on the agenda is public comment. Anybody have any public comment on the agenda items? If so, please move forward here to the podium. Seeing nobody? Okay, I'll move on. Announcements. We will have a brief executive session after tonight's meeting to discuss some legal and some personnel. Third on the agenda is consent agenda. May 20th, meeting minutes, wind plan review status, escrow release vouchers, action on plans about to expire, emergency services report, building and zoning, building permit report, public works report, conservation committee report, resolution of support, HB 2533 memorandum on data centers, treasurer's report, payment of bills. Greg, would you please read the bills for me? Treasurer's report.
Sure. For May 31st, 2026, the general fund, $1,114,603.38. Highway aid, $290,818.94. Open space, $1,168,029.74. The park fund, $70,718.07. The equipment fund, $38,797.51. Highway capital, $152.52. Street light, $43,838.70. The reserve fund is $535,031.37. Open space Manderfield, $42,600.99. Sewage maintenance fund, $228,394.81. Stormwater fund is $1,595.91, and the escrow funds are $974,404.82.
Either of you two have any questions?
No questions.
Changes?
Just the usual thank you to Sellersville, Telford, Trumbowersville, Tylersport for providing fire service. And glad to know that we're going to have our additional public works employee coming in next week. So
Very good.
glad that we got all those taken care of. Thank you, chiefs.
All right, I'll echo those comments as well. I'll entertain a motion for approval on the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Motion's been made.
I will second.
Second, all those signify by saying aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Thank you. All right, next on the agenda, confirmed appointments. There are none listed, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Moving forward, committee reports. First on the committee report is the Planning Commission report. Mr. Durstein, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Thank you. All right. So Planning Commission met last Tuesday. We had a handful of items on our agenda. First, we have two plans that are coming up for they require action. Steve, did we happen to get anything on those?
Yeah, we're good on both of them.
We're good on both?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll move forward. Next item was a review of the data center regulation zoning amendment. We do have some concerns about possibly over-regulating the use. More specifically, certain parts of the ordinance that might be susceptible to challenge. John Swearduck had done a lot of research, and I'm not going to go through everything he came up with. I understand that you guys got a copy of our draft minutes, so you should have an idea what we talked about. One of the strong points or sticking points is the challengeability and whether we should be considering having a third party attorney look at the ordinance, the draft of the ordinance, to make sure that is not overly challengeable. So something to consider. We also had discussion raised by Alex Almer concerning water and wastewater flow maps. This is, one of the things that he specializes in. He would like to see that. We'd like to see better building height definitions. Right now, this ordinance is calling for 35 feet from the ground. It's very vague. We have topographical challenges in the township where we might have 35 feet in the front and it might slope down to 60 to 70 feet in the back. So we're pretty high out of the ground when we're building on sloping property. So we'd like to see some better clarification on the building height. Another suggestion, which I saw is on the agenda, was forming the Citizens Advisory Committee. Get some of our residents who might have some specialties regarding some of the concerns that we have with the data centers. Put this committee together, let them knock heads and come up with some recommendations for you as well. So with the amount of concerns that we discussed, we voted to recommend not adopting the ordinance as proposed. In the event that you do adopt as proposed, we would request the board incorporate the technical items raised by Alex, looking into the specialized attorney and the Citizens Advisory Committee. So that is all I have on the draft amendment for the data center ordinance. Do you have any questions?
No,
Okay.
No, I do not.
Okay. It was pretty thorough, but there was a lot going on.
you did good.
You guys went through it pretty thoroughly.
It wasn't quickly,
No, it wasn't good.
but it was thorough.
It was good.
Thank you. So the last item on our agenda was a review of a proposed amendment to the residential accessory structures. This would establish additional regulations for the use in the commercial zones, including PC, PC2, PIVC, and the IS zoning districts. It will require applicants to execute a declaration of covenants recorded against the property. This pertains to, and I'm sure you guys know this, we have incidents where we have residences in commercial properties. They want to do a residential structure and then, they sidestep land development and they end up using the building commercially. So this would give us some teeth if they do sidestep, turn this building into a commercial use. We can go back and look at that and enforce whatever we would need to enforce if it was put in as a commercial building. So we voted to adopt that. We voted to recommend adoption.
Okay.
One of the caveats with that was in the title, there's a word unlawful. We'd like to see that just to non-residential, just for clarity. And that's all I had on that, and that's all I have on our meeting. Any questions?
I have none. Any questions for?
Oh, all good. Thanks, Chris.
You got it?
All right, I'll entertain a motion. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion for approval of Chris's report.
Oh,
So made.
I'll second that.
Second, all those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, moving forward. Next on the agenda, Park and Rec. Jody, how are you?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Great.
Hi everyone. I'm Jody Couture. I know I go through this every month, but I took the place of Dave back in January, so you were stuck
Much
with me
better
from.
job than
Thank you, Dave. I do try. For our meeting, we met 2 weeks ago. I just want to officially say that the dog park is officially done. There was a fence missing. It's just the Morrissey and Son did not have the time to finish the fence around the tree. It is now done, so we don't have to worry about dogs killing a beautiful tree. The next thing, it was pretty cool. A resident brought this to our attention. It's called the wind phone. We are still working on things, but the wind phone was adopted in Asia. And the wind phone, we looked at pictures. They can look like telephone booths or like a little shack, if you might say. And it was a phone, and of course not a usable phone, not attached to anything. And they would go and, I don't know, if you have a lost loved one, someone who's passed, sorry, I might break down a little bit. Sorry. Sorry, I had both parents pass. Sorry.
Take your time, Jody, okay? No rush.
First time I read this email, it made me do this. So it was a little personal. Anyway, okay. Thank you. Thank you for the cry. It's supposed to give you a bit of closure, or a bit of connecting to a loved one. So this woman wrote this beautiful email to Greg. Greg forwarded it to me, and she wanted it possibly near the pond. After the meeting, we talked about it, or during the meeting, we talked about it, and we were concerned about water, mud. The geese love to congregate over there. We didn't think that was a perfect idea, but I don't know. Of course, we all know about the park. There's a spot called Passionate Friends. It is a spot. It's a beautiful, beautiful garden on the one side. It's for the loss of a child. So I got a hold of, her name is Barbara. She's in charge of the chapter, and we chatted. She's a great lady. We thought we were really cool to combine the both of the Lost Compassionate Gardens for the kids and possible the Wind Phone. And she's going to talk with her people, and then she'll talk with our people. So hopefully that goes according to plan. We hope. Again, little sentimental here. Sorry about that. The next thing is Septemberfest. We're still working on it. A couple things still adding on to for September 27th, 12 to 4. Feature film on fire. We figured out Finding Dory. October 17th. It's at dusk. Yes, my kids picked up Finding Dory and they're teenagers, so pretty cool. Then the last thing is the playground. Another resident wrote to us and asked maybe for updates for this awesome playground that we have and is used a ton. There's a lot of things that need to be done to it. And one of the first things I'll talk about is the railroad ties that I don't know when they were put in. However, they need to be done. So our options is to put the railroad ties back in, or we even looked at, I forget what it's called, but there's almost like a mat that you can put down. And I did some research the past couple weeks, and I did not know any of this, so it was pretty cool. It's almost like linked together, like you see it like the kids' playroom or whatever, or you actually can pour it in. Didn't even know any of this, so pretty cool. However, I did not have time to really talk to people for prices, so we will be, hopefully next time we have a meeting, we'll have more information about that. I also looked into, I know that was all of our homework, we looked into possible ideas about doing things for playgrounds, and do we fix it up? We can't take it apart, put it back together again. So the prices of a new playground are expensive as well. I'm sure you all are aware. So that is on our discussion of what is coming up. So that is all I have.
Awesome.
So any questions from, I do have one more thing. I'm going to back up. Brenda, I'm going to throw a shout out to you. I was the Historical Society 250th celebration that they had not this past weekend, the weekend before. Really cool. Shout out to you, Brenda. Historical Society does amazing things. If you've not been inside, I know I said it before, it was really cool. They had some men and women all in garb from the 1800s and explaining how kind of Philadelphia came to be. There was a guy that had like a lot of rifles from 1812 to pretty much Vietnam. He explained it all. This area is pretty rich in amazing things, as you all know. So try to get out to local events. But and another thing, the books. I take care of the books over there. Amazing. You all love that you guys read. If you have extra, keeping them at your house, hook me up and I'll take them from you. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got now. I'm done.
Okay, very good, thank you. There's no questions for Jody. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make it.
You made the motions, Hal?
I'll second that.
Dave, you second it. All those signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you, Jody. Very well. All right, moving forward. Next on the agenda is commission reports, Penn Ridge Regional Police. Chief Dickinson, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you this evening?
Good.
I have the May 2026 activity report for the Penn Ridge Regional Police Department. Police Department responded to 856 calls for service in the month of May. 362 of those calls were in East Rock Hill Township. 479 were here in West Rock Hill Township. And the remaining 15 calls were assisting our neighboring agencies. The department handled 20 traffic crashes. Of those crashes, 4 were reportable, 16 were non-reportable, 4 were occurring in East Rock Hill Township, and 14 of them were here in West Rock Hill Township. Our criminal activity for the month of May included 8 crimes against property, 6 crimes against persons, 8 crimes against society, and 14 Group B offenses, which are your more minor crimes. Those reported crimes included in East Rock Hill Township, 2 DUI crashes, 4 reports of harassment, 2 drug possession investigations, 1 retail theft investigation, 2 trespassing investigations, a simple assault, 2 frauds, 2 weapons offenses, and 2 criminal mischiefs. In West Rock Hill Township, we handled 2 public drunkenness calls, 2 frauds, 5 complaints of trespassing, 2 complaints of DUI, 1 investigation of drug possession, 1 simple assault, 2 thefts, 1 disorderly conduct, and 1 harassment complaint. The criminal charges that we filed in the month of May included 5 charges of harassment, 1 violation of the dog law, 3 charges of disorderly conduct, 8 charges of trespassing, 3 charges of drug possession, and 3 charges of possession of drug paraphernalia, 1 simple assault arrest, 1 arrest for possession of a weapon on school property, 3 charges of transmission of sexually explicit images by minor, 1 underage drinking arrest, and 5 charges of DUI. Our other activities for the month of May included 218 traffic enforcement details, 133 traffic citations were issued, 96 traffic warnings were issued, 18 school checks were conducted, 115 park checks, 72 business checks, and 402 hours of training were attended or participated in by officers. So far for the year, for 2026, the police department has responded and handled 3,728 calls for service, investigated 124 accidents, investigated and reported on 184 offenses, filed 126 criminal charges, and officers have participated or attended 1,818 hours of training for the year of 2026. And that would be your activity report for the Penn Ridge Regional Police Department.
Very good. Keep up the good work, Chief. You and your officers are doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions for the chief?
Excellent job.
All right.
Thank you.
No questions?
Okay, I entertain a motion for approval of the chief's report.
Make a motion.
Okay, motion's been made. Second. All those signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, moving forward. Joint Rec Authority report. Angela, not here. Okay. You have anything? No.
Nope, just a quick summary that we met yesterday. And so right now the pool is actually getting good turnout with hot weather. We have Emma came back after 2 years to run the snack stand. The pool and the pump are running well, and we are doing pretty well with 3 different camps coming in, plus Coach White. So it is nice to swing by at like 8 o'clock and see the parking lot full.
Is there, I didn't see anything in the report there as far as numbers for the added season ticket purchases for West Rock Hill.
It hasn't, but it'll take a little bit. I can bring them up. But I'll send them to you. But
I
we're doing pretty
did,
good.
I did see that you guys had installed a gazebo that was donated.
Yes, we had a donation for a gazebo and pavilion. So now it's actually a really nice location. It is up at the top of the hill, just by the snack stand. So you get a nice view coming out. Pool has, I think, just updated their Facebook profile to include that view looking out over the pool. We got a new flag from Craig Statz's office, and we are doing pretty well.
Okay.
We're not up to where we wanted to be with season memberships, but we have a bunch of them coming in now that it's getting hot. But we've actually been making that up with daily people coming in.
Okay. Mr. Rice, you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the report.
I'll make a motion.
Motion's
I
been
will second.
made. Second. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Okay, moving forward, next on the agenda is the tax collector report. Suzanne Clark.
Okay, for the month of June, in annual taxes, I've collected $637.12. Streetlight tax, only $32.37 so far for this month. However, I just want to let you know that I have sent out reminder notices to all the folks who have county and township tax bills that haven't been paid yet, just to give them a chance to get in before the penalty hits July the 1st. So they did go in the mail last week. There is a 10% penalty, so you don't want to hit that July 1st. And just an update, our school bills, the millage has been set by the school district, and the bills are being printed as we speak. So they'll go out timely for the 1st of July.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right, well, thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions?
No
Okay,
questions.
so I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion.
Motion's been made.
I will
Second. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, moving forward. Next on the agenda is engineers report. Mr. Bala.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no specific items on the agenda unless there's any questions from the board.
I have none.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. We will move forward. Solicitor's report. Mr. Keatley's not here. Peter?
Nope. Yes, so first on the agenda, we have the proposed settlement regarding litigation involving 904 Ridge Road. I believe we have the plaintiffs, I guess, or appellants, attorney and engineer here to give a brief presentation. They are not looking for any action from the board at this point in time, but we're going to give a presentation just so they can kind of start the conversation.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. My name is Jack O'Terry. I'm here from Fox Rothschild on behalf of the appellant.
Okay.
Like Peter said, we're not looking for any action tonight. Just wanted to sort of start a discussion. If there's any neighbors here, happy to hear any comments you guys might have and sort of take this matter under advisement until the next meeting. So just by way of brief background, the appellant submitted a land development application concerning the use of the property, or at least a portion of it, for flex space. And that application was denied by the zoning hearing board, to which the appellant appealed, and that is currently pending. So we would like to settle that appeal, and we've developed a settlement plan in order to do so, and that's sort of the grounds for discussion tonight. So with that, Jason Smelland is the engineer for the project, and he'll sort of walk you through the background and be able to answer any technical questions you might have, and any general questions I'm happy to answer. So with that, I'll turn it over to Jason.
Okay, thank you.
See where I can put this where most of you can see it.
You can face it out. We have the pictures.
You have it? Okay.
Yeah, we have.
All right, perfect. My name is Jason Smealand with Lenape Valley Engineering. This is a project that you have seen before, and it's been ongoing for quite a while, but just as a way of refresher, it's right down the street here, Almont and Ridge. There's currently a single family home on the property, and then the repair shop that has been there for many years. And then three newer buildings. So the first building was built a number of years ago, and then additional two were added. So everything that you see on the plan here in terms of buildings, 1A, B, C, and D, they're all existing. We went to the zoning hearing board. This is located in the Village Commercial Zoning District, and we went to the zoning hearing board to request relief for kind of a contractor flex space. And one of the biggest issues that we had is that we do have a large property in the Village Commercial. Village Commercial is one of the higher density type zoning districts. But because we didn't have availability of public sewer, it made it very difficult to use the property in any way other than what it was today. So, and the primary difficulty with this property has always been sewer. So we did go to the zoning hearing board. We were not successful with our zoning relief. So we've come back with this settlement plan, and we're proposing to use the existing buildings in a couple of different ways. So first, the single family home stays. Second, the repair shop stays, and the building behind that will also be used as part of the repair shop. The next building would be a G4. The G4, it's a contractor use, HVAC, electricians, and then the last building would be warehousing type use. Now, in terms of layout, we know that the residents, a lot of them came to the zoning hearing board. We're aware of their concerns about traffic, use, noise, things along those lines. So we've tried to accommodate those as much as possible. So you can see with this revised configuration, we do have the access drive. It's only 10 feet wide. That's what we've always had. That's the original access that's there. And then we're connecting that 10-foot access into the back to a parking area in the rear. We have enough parking spaces to meet the parking criteria for the use in the buildings that we're providing. But what we've tried to do is to shift all of the traffic over on the Almont and keep all of the action and the doors away from the residential properties as much as possible. When you do have commercial uses such as this, one of the things that you worry about is outdoor storage. So we have an outdoor storage area that's designated and fenced appropriately up against the commercial use that's already there. There's I guess they're something to do with graves and digging graves. So we're primarily working on that side. In terms of impervious coverage and dimensional standards, we meet all the criteria of the underlying zoning. We'd be providing appropriate buffers, residential, non-residential. So on the plan here, you can see it's a little bit hard to see, but there's a red line that indicates the existing fencing that's already there, which is a white stockade. There's a picture of it in the right-hand corner with the arborvitaes that are there. We'd be expanding that, the fencing along the property and along the back. And then we have our stormwater management area in the rear. In terms of access and truck circulation, because you will have trucks, we're not anticipating any kind of large tractor trailers, but you'd have box trucks. So we have a large turnaround area, kind of, I call it a hammerhead in the back. So truck can come in, back into that and come out, and would never have to use the 10 feet access way. 10 feet is very narrow. It's not something that you would necessarily want to use it for a truck. And previous iterations of this plan, we had planned to expand that 10-foot driveway, but we felt that it would be appropriate if we have the turnaround, that we wouldn't really need to expand that driveway for trucks. In fact, we'd want to keep the trucks off of that as much as possible and let the whole single-family home portion and the repair shop kind of function independently and really not have traffic on that 10-foot strip there. In terms of sewer, we have done some homework with the health department and DEP. They've reviewed the uses that we're proposing here, and basically we've demonstrated that we'd be able to comply with the requirements for a holding tank for up to 800 gallons per day, which would accommodate all of these uses. So that is the issue of sewer, and it's been resolved as far as outside agency approvals. And then what we would also anticipate is that if you were to move forward with this plan, a settlement plan, we would be going through some form of land development where we could touch on the more detailed issues, lighting, specifics for trees, things like that. So we would anticipate that we'd end up with some sort of land development process if this plan is agreed on, where you'd be able to talk more in detail than at the sketch plan level here. Really, I think that's all I have for you.
Mr. Nelson? Any comments?
At this time, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just ask one, because I do plan on recommending tabling this. Has there been any discussion with the neighbors?
There has not been any discussion with neighbors, and I'm a little bit removed from it. My
Sure.
understanding is
The question really probably should be to
yeah.
them.
We have been in discussions with the neighbor's attorney, but we haven't received any comments formally to our proposal.
Okay.
So we're- yes, I should also use this as an opportunity to advance those discussions.
And I believe that we're more than willing to meet with the residents to discuss also.
Okay. All right, well, thank you. With that said, I'll recommend that we table this till next month.
I would agree.
Okay. So I made a motion. You second it?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion's been made and second. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
You have something next? Yep.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So next, under the solicitor's report, I wish to introduce the amendment to Chapter 200. Chapter 200 is the township's fire code. And this amendment that's been prepared by David would make changes to the fire code to institute basically the need to prepare an emergency response plan for certain types of uses within the township. There's a draft ordinance that has been provided to you. I am looking, or actually David is looking for authorization to advertise it so it can be considered for adoption at your July meeting. In addition, David and I are also planning to make an adjustment to the ordinance, specifically the chart at the end of it. It needs to be broadened so it covers more industrial uses. Right now, it's very focused on fuel cell uses, hydrogen type generation uses. We need to expand it to cover also things like battery storage and other industrial uses that have special fire needs. So what I'm specifically looking for is authorization to advertise once the chart has been adjusted. And like I said, the ordinance will be up for adoption at your meeting in July.
Okay. Any questions concerning this from either supervisor?
No questions. I like the
Read
addition.
over it, looks good.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion for,
So moved.
to advertise.
I'll
Motion's,
move to
I'll
advertise.
yep,
second that
motion's been
motion.
made. Your second
With the additional.
Yeah, with the addition.
tweaking of the,
The tweaking of the chart.
yes, okay.
Yes, thank
So
you.
motion's been made and second. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and that's all I have.
Very good. All right. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the solicitor's report as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Motion's been made and second. All those signify by saying aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Moving forward, manager report, Mr. Lippincott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first item is authorization to advertise for the 2026 and 2027 winter snow plowing bids. Every year we go out to bid. I'm simply looking for authorization to go out to bid.
Any reason why we wouldn't do this?
Nope. See,
Are you making that a motion?
I will make that as a motion.
Okay. Motion's been made.
I will second it.
Second. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Ayes have it.
Thank you. The second item is authorization to go out to bid for oil and chip. What the township staff is recommending is to oil and chip Catch Basin Road from Ridge Road to Forest Road as the primary bid. And then as the alternate bids, do Forest Road and Old Bethlehem Pike from Forest Road to Rich Hill Road.
Just want to clarify something. This is not the traditional oil and chip that we used to often. Steve, would you elaborate on what this is called now?
Right. Well, it would be similar to what PennDOT has been using on the state road. So it's a single application oil and chip with a fog seal, which is that extra sealer on top
Yes.
of the of the oil and chip.
Seems to hold out. It seems to hold up a little bit better. I've driven on the roads they've done. They've done the upper side of the lake, 563 out there, and they've also done 412, and they seem to be holding up very well. So I think it's something that would prolong the life of a road and be a little more economical for us. So, I would make the motion that we authorize the bid for oil and chip.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been made in second. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, ayes have it.
Thank you.
Fix the roads first.
The next item is the draft resolution for the Data Center Citizens Advisory Committee. In your packet, there is a draft. However, there are several questions that need to be answered. Do you want to make it 5 or 7 people? How many nights do you want it to happen? Do you want it to happen once a month or twice a month? There was also talk of a citizens group outside of the township, similar to what some people in the township did for Adelphia, which was outside of the township's control.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, would you mind clarifying the difference between either option?
Sure.
So the residents can hear.
Sure. If the township does it, it has to be advertised meetings. There has to be agendas. Any emails that go back and forth, you can't discuss outside of public meetings. They all have to be, the discussion has to be in the meeting. You'll have to create minutes and whatnot. Whereas a private citizen group can meet anytime they want and email each other 24/7, and they can come up with their own. It cannot be a quorum of the Board of Supervisors, Planning Commission, or any board. If a private citizens group got together and drafted an ordinance, they could then submit it to the township, and the township could then send it to a planner, send it to the Planning Commission, send it to the Board of Supervisors. Everybody could do it. You could meet, the private citizen group could meet as many times as they wanted over the course of a month, compared to the township that has to advertise each time that they meet. So you have more flexibility. That would be up to the Board of Supervisors, whether they wanted to make it an official committee or the citizens organize themselves and then submit version 3 for the township to consider.
Okay. My opinion is I'd like to see a private citizens group take on this project and submit ordinance or ideas to the township so that we can have a professional look at it. Correct?
Correct. You would, the way I envision it is that the township would hire a planner then to take a look at it along with the Planning Commission.
Okay.
And the Board of Supervisors, the attorney, Steve, myself. But you may get faster results from a private citizens group than you would by having a formal township committee. But that's up to the Board of Supervisors.
Thoughts, Mr. Rice?
I think they're both good ideas. I like the idea of the flexibility of the residents group where you can meet anytime. You have to, I don't want to say, you avoid the sunshine laws, but you kind of step around them. So I don't know, vacation, it's not anything wrong. You're basically allowed to talk 24/7 if you so choose to work on specific items in the ordinance. So I think it adds value. And then with the township potentially, bringing on a planner to, once we have that, I say the residents have that proposal to give to the planner, you have all the details you want and they can spell it out. And I think it's a good idea.
Al, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, it's probably going to be quicker to get a citizens group unincorporated association, because then they can work a lot faster without the necessity of, you have to notify everybody. If you want to change a meeting, you have to advertise it. You would have somebody else being on. If you want to change the location, you have to advertise it. That gives a lot more flexibility to just have it be at whoever's house. You have the township building, which we can open up. Although it's held at the township, it would be an official township event.
So it would have to be scheduled. That would have to be scheduled
Yeah, it
because
would have to be scheduled, but we have space around.
Yeah.
Or the Historical Society has space, I think. But they can find ways of getting organized, and that might be a little bit quicker than going through the hoops that you have to in order to have a specific township-based advisory committee.
Okay.
But I guess we need to ask the people who have applied.
Well, we've had what, three? We have three applicants. I was thinking we wouldn't go more than 5 people because you get a lot of it. If we have 3 applicants so far, the 3 applicants would be good. that would be kind of streamlined. They could bounce the ideas off each other and I think streamline this whole process as opposed to waiting around for a meeting every month and to have something approved if we're going through a formal setting. I would support private citizens group, and if we have 3 applicants,
I'd bring them all on.
yeah, I'd put them all on because
Well, that would be up to them to decide for themselves because they would be outside of the township's
Okay.
control.
well, correct. That's the right way to say that.
Yeah, and you want to have an odd number so that you don't have.
They're not voting.
Board.
Yeah, they're not really voting on anything.
Yeah, any number except 6. That's the worst. That's how King Charles II lost his head. He ended up with 6 advisors. And they
Well,
put a deadlock.
They're not gonna do that. That's not gonna happen. Anyway. Do you need a recommendation then of,
Well, all you would have to do is inform the citizens that you're not going to adopt the resolution and then
Okay.
they can organize themselves.
that's what we will do. We will not adopt the resolution and we will allow citizens group to organize themselves.
We wouldn't let any of them speak if they're here.
Sure. Would you like to speak? Come on, ma'am, right up here.
I just, Tina Rossline, 1020 Golden Hill Road. I don't see the need to do the quickest way. It seems like everything is rushing. We have to get this done.
No.
We don't.
We're not rushing.
Well, we don't need the quickest way then. And at the planning board, Alex
Alex,
suggested that somebody from the commission do it more formally, and I thought that sounded really good.
Okay, thank you for your
Thank you.
comment.
Ashley Adams, Ridge Valley Road. Shockingly, I'm one of the 3. I wish we would have talked about this last month. Like, that was an option, but instead we kind of said, let's form this advisory committee. I applied the next day. I received a reply from Mr. Lippincott on the 21st, and I've heard nothing until right now. That's a month of time that we lost. We could have done this. I mean, I don't necessarily understand why there's not a possibility to do both. I mean, you have no control whether we decide to organize ourselves anyway.
Correct.
We can have 1,000 people. We can have 3. No one's losing their heads. Not yet. I mean, but it just feels like wasted time this last month, and we're going to do something. I'm fine with the private. I respectfully disagree. I think that we do need to, I don't think we need to rush through anything, but I do think we're on the clock. We're for sure on the clock. And I think that we did that to ourselves. We, in our haste to pass something that I remember standing here 2 months ago saying was woefully inadequate. And then we passed it anyway. And now we're dealing with the woeful inadequacies. So that's kind of where we're at. And while I'm up here really quick, did we not address the resolution of support for House Bill 2533 moratorium on data centers? Under consent agendas?
Yes, it was
We
under
did?
the consent
Okay,
agenda. The
so
board
we must have
approved
missed
it.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, we're just kind of, I mean, we're in a holding pattern on that. That doesn't mean that we can't start work, but the concern is if we do a committee that's organized by the township, that is correct. We do have to advertise. It's much more formal. And sunshine laws, et cetera, like we do have to deal within those constructs. And my concern is that, do we run into a gray area if we have someone who is on that township sanctioned committee, but also operating on a citizens committee that's a private citizens committee? Would that potentially be an issue for the township?
It's not a legal issue.
No, I don't think a legal issue, but does that,
It's more of a policy issue. I think
that's what,
Ms.
yeah.
Adams is asking is more, are you guys going to be uncomfortable if someone's wearing 2 hats?
Well, me personally, I
Mhm.
would prefer none of us, 3 supervisors, be on that committee.
Sure.
That's my personal opinion.
Mhm. I don't mean you guys.
Well, I'm making that statement. I'm making that statement
Sure.
because I want the citizens to give input.
Mhm.
And, you know, at the end of the day, the supervisor will have to decide.
And the question is, with a private committee, then do we have a point person through this body? That is it the township manager to just say, here you go, and maybe we hear something back, maybe we don't? Like, is there going to be a more, not, I don't want to say collaborative, but a more responsive process?
Generally speaking, we always use the manager as the go-to person.
Okay.
And the manager will inform the board.
Okay. And how do we find out? Like, do we just wait for the next meeting to find out if what do we do?
2.5 minutes are up. Yeah, the board has to give direction. So
Mhm.
when people give me information, I pass it along to the board, but then the board makes the decision
And the board can only act.
at a public meeting.
Yes, that's my
And so that's
question
what
is
takes a month
is it
for
going to
an
be one of
answer.
these things where we don't get the agenda until the day of, and then we're like, oh, there it is, or oh, there's a part of it, or it puts us on the back foot to be able to prepare to come into a meeting. We'd like to know, is there a way to post something in advance on the website or something, like at least an agenda? This is what will be discussed. So that way we can prepare.
The agendas are always posted the Friday before the Wednesday Board of Supervisors
Okay,
meeting.
so a handful of days. But
Yeah. And things need to be in a week before. We try to get
Okay.
everything in Wednesday before so that we can put the packet together. So it's usually a week at a time when we get everything submitted.
Okay. That's all I have for that.
Yeah, just for background, our packet is 133 pages this month. So we got a lot of paperwork to go through, so that's why we're thinking that we, unloose the neighbors. They can meet whenever they want, as quick as they want. We only get to act when we have 3 people sitting up here.
Sure.
2 people sitting up here at quorum. So you can act a lot faster than we can because we have to advertise, we have to vote, we have to follow sunshine law. It's up to you guys. You follow Robert's Rules of Order, call, talk, come up with ideas and send them along to us.
She's familiar with that.
I sure am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Here's somebody with their people.
Yep, I'm sorry. Sir, step right up here. Hello. Name and address.
My name is Ross Wexler, Sterners Road.
Okay.
I have not moved in yet. Purchased the property. Settlement was a week ago. What I purchased has been a dream home of mine since I was a little kid. And shortly after being told that we received the bid, I started doing research on the township, or at least my property. Technically, I'm in Green Lane for the mailing address, but I'm in Rock Hill Township, so this is where my energy is going to go to. I spent my life to be able to get this beautiful property that I have now in this gorgeous area of nature, and I'm going to put as much energy into keeping that from being taken away. So I'm very new to everything that's going on here. I'm from Cheltenham Township. 6 years ago, I tried to get involved with the sewer sale to Aqua, and the entire thing put a very bad taste in my mouth after what I experienced. And just for what it is worth, what has happened here in the last hour or so has been completely different from what I've experienced. Just seeing the looks on all of your faces, you actually give a shit. Oh, I'm sorry. You actually care. I'm sorry. You actually care. And it makes me feel very good that I'm moving to a community that cares about what they have and are willing to fight to not lose it. So at the end of the day, to make it short and sweet, coming into this after it's been going on, I would like to be the 4th applicant to the advisory committee. I will be here for however long I need to be after the meeting. If whoever can come to me and let me know what I need to do to be a part of that, and you will have 110% of my energy to help you with whatever you need. Thank you. I'm very excited to be a part of your community. And just keep fighting for what you hold dear to you. Thank you.
Welcome to West Rock Hill.
Jerry, did you get his name? Okay.
Yeah, just make sure to give us your information. We do have the forms out. And if you like history, look into the Freeze Rebellion. Because the British stole John Freeze cows. He chased them all the way down Sunny Town Pike,
Okay.
then down Bethlehem Pike, down to Cheltenham, in order to get his cows back.
Okay, writing that down right now. Thank you.
Okay, so where are we at, Greg?
That's all I have.
Okay. All right. That being said, is there any questions, concerns?
No
Greg?
questions. Nope.
Okay,
All
I will entertain a motion for approval of the manager's report as presented.
So made.
So made.
I'll second that.
Second, all those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay, next on the agenda is old business. Mr. Rice, you have any old business?
I do not.
Mr. Shermer?
I don't really have anything.
Okay, I have two things. The first thing on my agenda
Just
is,
one-
oh,
Before you, just to clarify, you're tabling the resolution?
Yep.
Do you guys need to vote to table it?
That's what I was.
I don't know how you normally do it, but I don't know if you want to.
Where do you
okay,
get- you break it up into, you break it up, your manager, put it into
Well, you would just table the
draft resolution.
draft. But then would you ever want it back on another agenda? So are you tabling it?
I thought we were eliminating it.
Yeah, I thought you were eliminating it too.
So why would we need to vote on it?
Just, kind of clarification maybe for the audience,
Okay.
or
Should I make him?
you can indefinitely table it, let's put it that way.
All right,
Or I would move that we would go with a citizen group rather than an official township.
okay.
That would also work.
That motion's been made by Mr. Shermer,
I'll second that.
second by Mr. Rice. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Now that, the two things on old business that I have listed was, and this has been going on for a while. Old Mill Road, coming off of the Bethlehem Pike, which is the old 309. Okay? Where Matt's Heavy Duty is. You don't know that there's a road there. You can't tell where the road is. I mean, I still almost drive by it. And I've had several residents ask me about signs. Why isn't there a sign there? Well, there is a sign on the other side, but you're 3 lanes over and you don't see that sign. So people that go to Wilcox and stuff, they miss the road a lot. Can we do something about putting a sign? I know that it's been paved where the grass used to be, and there's a trench grate there. However, is it possible that we get a sign put there somehow?
I'll take a look with the Public Works Director and Steve. We'll talk about it.
Okay, thank you. And then the next thing on my list here for old business was the temporary use of the trailers at B Enterprises, which is out the road here. There's been, I don't know, it's been what, 2 years or so, more,
Say more.
where the trailers were supposed to be temporary. And there's so much traffic coming in and out of there. The trailers are still there and they're still using them. And the building's been built. Where are we at? Is there some kind of issue with zoning or what?
The issues with building, they haven't installed the sprinkler system that is required when they rebuild.
Okay, so how long is this going to go?
I can reach out to them again, just get a status of it.
Okay, is there some kind of action we need to take to encourage or make that sprinkler system be installed?
I will relay that information to the property owner.
Okay. Just so that the trailers could be eliminated at some point in time and we can get back to normal, because honestly, the amount of people that go in and out of there is phenomenal. I think they do some kind of fingerprinting or something there now.
Yeah, for background checks.
Yeah, did they do that in the main?
Yes, they did. They've always done
So
that.
they would have more parking if the trailers were out of there.
Correct.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Those were the two things that I had under old business. Seeing anybody else having new business on the agenda now, any new business?
The new business.
Oh, actually, you mentioning signs reminds me that we should ask PennDOT about replacing the curve signs, because we're missing one of the signs for Washington Avenue. We're missing the sign for Hayfield Road, the Gold Mine Road. The street sign was taken out by one of the wide turning trucks, and I think they had another sign down, because right after they put them up, we had one wide load which went through, just kept hearing ping, 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 honk, as they started knocking the signs off.
Could you explain that one more time?
This summer,
I'm being
PennDOT,
funny. I get you.
I noticed that a bunch of the signs that PennDOT just put up were missing a bunch of the signs.
Okay.
Maybe we should ask them about putting them back up because right now we just got empty poles and a couple of bent signs.
Okay. So can you make a note of that?
Yes, I can make a note of it, but the perpetrator of most of the signs being is PPNL.
And
PPNL down on Jesmont. One day they knocked down the stop sign on Lonely Road 3 times
and by the way,
in one day.
that reminds me, that's another issue that you need. It's probably the subcontractors that, but you need to get a hold of somebody because the ditch, they were stuck in the ditch on Lonely Road. I know that. I could see the ruts there yesterday. As well as, there was some damage done at Thousand Acre Road and Allentown Road. These trucks that are going in there, they're hauling these timbers and stuff out, I think, that they use to drive through the fields. So, get a hold of somebody if you can.
I try to get a hold of people almost daily with PPNL.
Okay. All right.
Right. Her name's Jessica Nicholson. She actually called me back, but I had back in 2 weeks. I said something to her supervisor.
I sent to all of their supervisors too. It's
If you shut down the operation, will call you back then?
if I legally could shut down PPNL, I would.
And then it'll plug its phone.
Okay. It's been an issue though.
Correct.
There has been a lot of complaints.
Maybe you could authorize the township solicitor to write a letter because obviously they're not responding to the management.
Good idea.
I'd be okay with making that motion.
Okay.
I'd be fine accepting it for Dave.
All right.
Second?
Motion's been made and second to write a letter to PPNL by the attorney. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Thank you. Okay. Next on the agenda is public comment. Anybody got public comment? You're welcome to come up. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's good.
Don White. Excuse me. So the fire companies have been in my area at least 5 times so far this year. They provide a great service and I wish West Rock Hill Supervisors would support them better. However, there was a fire at the Manderfield property. It burned close to an acre of the undergrowth. The first responders had problem accessing the fire. There's a locked gate on the Allentown Road entrance and the trail into the property is not maintained. So it is illegal in all 50 states to obstruct emergency vehicles from reaching a property, meaning any locked gate that completely prevents first responders from entering violates the state fire prevention codes and local ordinances. Because states enforce these rules by adopting national fire codes, they all require an emergency access or fire lanes to open immediately for fire, police, and medical personnel. West Rock Hill Township is in defiance of these laws in 2 locations, the Manderfield property and the property on Twin Lows Road. Heavy fines. Local fire marshals can issue daily citations or fines until the gate or blockage is brought up to code. You are putting my property and other neighbors' property at risk. You are also exposing the township to substantial liability risk should a fire spread from the township property while you are in defiance of the law. You need to install the right kind of locks on the gate, and you need to maintain the trail so the brush fire trucks can enter. You need to remove the cement that is blocking all emergency access to the Twin Lows property. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The other thing I have is Newtown Township just privatized their firemen beginning of the year. They're paying them. So now Newtown Borough, so it's a township and the borough, both Newtown, Now Newtown Borough is paying $275,000 for fire service from Newtown Township Fire Company. That's only for 10 months of service. Now, mind you, Newtown Borough is only 2,224 residents. It's only 0.55 square miles, half a square mile. $275,000 for fire protection. Just imagine what it's going to
2.5
cost us
minutes
to
are
get
up.
that coverage. All right, I'm done. Plumstead's looking to do the same thing.
Thank you so much for your comments, Mr. White. We will take them under advisement.
Yeah, one of the things which we had just recently done for Holiday House Pool 2 years ago was get a standard, it's called a Knox box, which is basically all the fire departments are able to have the same key in order to get in. And I believe I believe they make them similar to the realtor's little turnkey that you can just hang on. So that might be a very simple.
Well, I will make it,
Workaround.
I will make a statement here that this is just a public statement. Every fire chief and every fire company in this township knows how to cut that lock off in seconds. Okay? They got to get in there in seconds.
Against the wall, Jake.
No, it's not when there's a fire. Not when there's a fire. They can cut the lock.
wall and have the lock in the gate.
I'm not arguing that. I'm making a statement that the lock can be removed.
Still against the
Okay?
wall.
So the firemen can get
Not
there.
taking care of, I'm going to call fire marshal.
You're welcome to do that. Thank you. Any other public comment? Yes, ma'am.
I live at Ridge Road and Lonely Road. And Tuesday to Friday, there's trucks that go to, I believe, the data center. They're very long and they're very noisy. They use a brake that my son told me is not supposed to be used except on state roads. They come down hour after hour. They come up and they come down. Lonely Road is a very quiet road and it's being abused by these trucks. It's very intolerable. I don't know how long we're supposed to put up with this noise. And this was very quiet. When I moved here 40 years ago, it was horses and carriages on the road. Now these monster trucks, they run cars off the road. They are so big. They're knocking down the signs too. They're on Lonely Road. They're constantly getting stuck right at that spot, at Lonely Road and Ridge Road. They're knocking down mailboxes. Ours are knocked down. I don't think that they're really taking good care of the people that live on Ridge Road and Lonely Road. Lonely Road has pretty wealthy people on it. And so I don't know if they're complaining or not, but I'm not wealthy. And I shouldn't have to put up with that long truck day after day, moving. And the other thing is that for some reason, there's a lot of traffic on Ridge Road now. They're going very fast. They speed. I don't know if it's motorcycles or cars, but I was going to call the police because they're going too fast and people are going to get killed. We have a driveway that goes right after Ridge Road. And if those cars are coming by, they're going to get run over. We're going to have accidents. And it's very, very dangerous. And I don't think that we should be putting up with dangerous conditions like that. I don't know if they need less traffic. It's 45 miles an hour there. It's too fast because there's new homes there. And there's children. They're right across the street, little boy. And he's going to get hit if he's in that right down the road. They need to be careful. And they need to have these big trucks, not use those big brakes that they're using. And they shouldn't be knocking down people's mailboxes. That's just what I have to say.
Ma'am, can I get your name, please?
Shirley Hurling, Herling.
And the address there, Shirley?
1307 Ridge Road.
Thank you, Shirley. We take your comments under advisement, and
Thank you.
we are trying to do something about that.
Thank you. It's
You're welcome.
just so noisy.
Okay, is there any other public comment? Yes, ma'am.
Cheryl Kagassi, 9 Augustine Road. To what Shirley said, crossing, I walked through the township building here to walk the dog over to the park. The cars are not doing 35. I've complained about this before. I hear during the night, I hear them drag racing down the bypass. I can hear them shifting. I hear them speeding at the top of Ridge Valley Road down to the curve. I can hear them shifting. And I hear them constantly out here, and especially on the weekend. It's bad. I mean, I can be crossing the dog and it's clear. The next thing I know, there's a car coming. They will not slow up. Even the one day, one of the maintenance guys pulled out. He stopped the traffic so I could cross because he didn't want me getting hit because everybody flies through here so badly. It's unbelievable. I can't believe, nothing against you, but I'm just saying. Well, no, I know, but you know, you say you have all these tickets that you give people, but I don't see anybody getting ticketed here on this part in our little village of Almont. I never see any cops. I see them driving by, but I don't see anybody ever getting ticketed. And I see them sitting here timing from Naceville down to wherever, to the light here at Lawn Avenue, because I talked to the police. So that, you know, but to what Shirley said, yes, the speeding here is unbelievable. That's all I have.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Mr.
Regal.
Regal, yes. Don?
My name's Scott Regal, 4302 Barnt Road. First, just touch on some of the stuff about the trailers going through. Jessica actually said that a bunch of money was given for guardrails. So I'm not sure where that stands or if they've got to actually do the work. Like, does the state do the work on the guardrails? I'm not
No,
sure.
they gave the guardrail money for the ones at Lonely and
Barnt?
Simmons and Barnt.
Okay.
When they destroyed that one.
And so when we draft the letter for them, we should add something for any of the carriers on what we would like them to do. Because today, literally, one of those giant trucks was in front of my house and he tried to make the right onto Barnt and couldn't do it. So he proceeded to back out and was going to back out onto county line. So I called him and I said, hey, you can make a left and go up the hill and make a right on Simmons. But that's normal practice for them, not even to know where they're going or how to get there, which of course causes a lot of the damage. So, but to get back to the committee, the Citizens Committee. So Greg, you're going to be our point person?
I'll be the point person, yeah.
Okay. And so all of the amendments that we had proposed for, I guess, the second pass, they technically aren't adopted at this point. And then I understand that it also goes through the Planning Commission. And I know Mr. Durstein said he was concerned about some of those. So I was just wondering, how are we going to be kept up to speed? Like, we're going to do all this work and submit it. So there's got to be some sort of communication. I know meeting wise, there's all kinds of probably regulations, but we would still like to know, these are the ones that are being reviewed. If we adopt them, it's the bottom line, or do we have to get a planner, I heard, or we have to get another council to, I
You don't have to
guess.
get anybody. Township will be hiring a planner.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying, so there's going to be these other layers that are involved in adopting these amendments that we're putting together. So what's the feedback loop, like the timing? Because it really does feel like we lose a lot of time. I know when we had talked about putting the civilians board together before, it was going to be through the township. And I understand it's easier to kind of go this route, but we really do lose a month here and there. Even the new amendments, the fact that they're not approved at this point gives me concern. So anyway, I just want to understand that loop.
2.5 minutes are up.
Anyone give me some time? I'm sorry. So really that's all I'm looking for, feedback loops, so that we can kind of get the ball rolling and understand where it is and what hurdles we need to get these things in place, because we certainly don't want to work and not understand where we are. And so I think that's an important part of the process.
Mr. Nelson, is it a fair statement to say you really can't get any feedback because we can't act on anything unless it's in a public meeting? As far as it comes.
Well, there's a couple of things. You have your second proposed ordinance coming up on July 15th. It's advertised, and then the board's going to make that decision whether or not they adopt that one on July 15th. And I think the committee then, the ad hoc citizen committee, should look at it. If you do adopt it, what things they want changed. If you decide not to adopt it, how would they improve version 2 before you consider it again? And so what you would do is submit something in writing to the township.
Yeah.
And then it gets distributed from me to the Planning Commission and the Board of Supervisors. They can't make any comments until it's a public meeting.
Okay, so that was actually my last point, because I know we've got this date coming up. So even if we were to assemble tomorrow and we turn in this information, will that be in the second amendment? Will that be up for review, or will there be an obstacle with litigation where we've got to get?
Because version 2 is already advertised. Yeah. And so version 2's advertised, so the board has to consider adopting it in total or not adopting it.
Oh, okay.
Those are the only two options they have. Don't adopt it, or so if they adopt it, then you have to work off of, hey, this is how we want to amend version 2.
Even with Mr. Durstein's concerns and saying we should potentially, so you could still adopt it with the concerns and then amend it from there. And then we're back on the same thing where we've got to advertise it, so on and so forth. When would the next adoption be after July 15th?
Well, it would have to be okayed by the Board of Supervisors, but I'm sure version 3, they're probably going to have the Planning Commission take a look at it. They may hire a planner to take a look at it, and then it goes from then. But it's up to
August, September, possibly?
It all depends on how quickly it gets to it, how quickly the board reviews it, and then the board makes that decision whether or not they would like the Planning Commission to take a look at it and whatnot.
So we're really up against the clock in case if somebody does a submission within that window.
Well, currently we have the pending ordinance of the second version.
Okay. Okay, I think there's things that we definitely need to add, so that's why I have all these concerns. And so I'm looking for the one after the 15th, but we'll figure that out. All right, that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Any other public comment? Oh, okay.
Tony Bogner, Clymer Avenue. I just want to make a statement that the PP&L project is just about wrapping up. But my question is, not my question, but I would suggest with the attorney to create a punch list for the damage that's done.
I have that punch list.
Okay, well, incorporate that into that. And because their final grade in Lonely Road and seeded and strawed and then 1,000 acre. So you got to get it while it's hot and get that punch list to them. So just an observation, that's all.
Thank you for your comments.
All right, thank you.
Ashley Adams, Ridge Valley Road, round 2. So I reviewed the Planning Commission meeting video that was, I believe, June 9th. And I want to echo some concerns that were raised by Mr. Swearduck. I share the concern. Like I had already said, that in our haste, to pass something, we've put ourselves in this position where now we've got July to consider a second amendment that I think the Planning Commission at that meeting said that we're not going to recommend that we adopt. And whether you do or you do not, that's fine. But then that puts us another step, and then it's another step. It's another step. I recognize, as discussed at that meeting, the severability clause that protects any remaining provisions if one or more provisions have been found to be invalidated. That's something that I don't really want to test how far that goes. The way it stands now in the Second Amendment, there's a lot of there's a lot of provisions in there that I think can be heavily litigated and likely invalidated. And so I don't want us to present something where it's a hack job by whomever wants to come in and build data centers. It's like litigation after litigation after litigation, and then we end up with this nothing burger of regulations. So I agree with Mr. Swearduck that we need to hire independent professionals. We're past that point. We talked about this 2 months ago. That's when it was first brought up. You know, our solicitors just, they don't possess and it's not a critique of them. They just don't possess the nuanced expertise. And that's because this is so new. They don't. And while there's, even if there's not a deep pool of professionals that we can go to the well, for, there are professionals, maybe they've not successfully drafted regulations like this that have been challenged in court, because not much has been challenged yet. We don't want to be the first, but we might. And they know more than we do. It's great. We're going to have the Citizens Commission made up of me. I'm a divorce attorney. Yay. Like, what's my specialized? I can research, but I don't have specialized knowledge regarding data centers, and neither does anybody else here. And I know we've talked about, well, let's hire another, independent counsel. Are they going to have? I think we need to talk about not just another lawyer, which is crazy for me to say, but but like, I don't know, an environmental engineer. We have to start, because that's really what we're talking about. Lawyers are great at writing regulations, and then they're great at defending regulations and making gray. But we need somebody who knows what they're talking about and that can actually address our concerns. I'll take your time.
You got 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, 2.5 more minutes. But I think we're in a situation where we're all learning, and we're learning on the fly as information becomes available. We don't know what we don't know, and we don't know, we can't begin to understand or anticipate the information that is being withheld on a national basis. This isn't a West Rock Hill thing, or that isn't yet widely known. For instance, there's new reports out of Texas that are talking about stillborn livestock. Farmers are saying, since the data center moved in, I've not had one live calf. Like, uh-oh, we have farms. That's a huge problem that would completely undercut
Where was that?
Texas. It's going to be a big problem for them, because, Pennsylvania, again, I've likened us to fracking before with this. There's a reason why fracking came here the way it did. They picked up from other states because Pennsylvania courted fracking companies. We're doing the same thing with data centers. And Virginia is right now the number one. Number two is Pennsylvania, like, for applicants, and these soft launch applications where they're scouting centers. There's one in Quakertown that's up for discussion, two, which is right off of the beaten path from us. So this is something that's going to come from us all angles. And I think we're just losing time. I agree about the Citizens Advisory Committee and that we need to hit the ground running. I wonder if we hire some of these professionals, whether it be an environmental engineer, whether it be, independent counsel, whomever it may be, can that advisory committee liaise with them if they are hired by the township? Because my pockets aren't endless. And I don't think anybody here, I don't know that we're in a position to just say, let's hire all the experts as these, 5-person independent counsel, and we'll get back to you. It's not reality. And meanwhile, the time ticks on, and we just sit and hope that somebody, they're coming. This isn't an if, it's a when. And it's not just one on Cat Hill. We talked about at the advisory or the planning committee, we can't make it a physical impossibility. We can't say it's got to be 35 acres and we don't have 35 acres for you. That's a problem. We can't do that as much as I'd love to. It won't uphold. So we're in this position where it's like they're going to come, they're going to see the weaknesses. The pockets are endless with them and not with us.
2.5 minutes are up.
The time is now. The time was yesterday. The time was whatever April 15th tax day meeting that we started talking about this, to start looking into professionals to hire. Farm some of this stuff out. We have no problem farming things out when it's for things that are far less serious than this, far less devastating, far less potentially fatal to not just our way of life, but our properties, our kids. Like what if they want to put one next to a school? Then what? What do we do then? It's possible. And I don't want to be on the back foot every single time. And I'm so tired of coming to these meetings and be like, let's keep doing the same thing that I keep saying we're doing. This is getting old for me. And this is month 3 of just saying the same things. And I don't feel that we're in a different spot than we were in February when that non-proposal proposal came through, which, by the way, is still on the National Database Center. When you go to look at data centers and proposals, it's a proposal on all these national sites that are watchdog sites. And I know you say it's not a proposal, like I know that, but it's public. That means we're on the map. We're on the map for developers. We're on the map for AI data centers that want to come in, that these surveillance companies that are looking for beautiful rolling green to set up shop. Like, what are we doing? It feels like not a whole lot. We talk about it, and I know we've done some, the Planning Commission said, all right, let's go to the solicitor, and we're going to ask the solicitor, like, how did you draft this? What was consulted? Did you consult any, proposed ordinances anywhere else? And I don't know what that answer is. I was hoping that somebody tonight might be able to tell me what that response was, if any, because I think it's critically important that we're not just making stuff up and hope it sticks. Like, we're way, way out of our depth here. And I respect the solicitor. I respect what they do. This is not an easy job. But at the same time, it's just exposing us to liability. And I would like to know where that came from. Did he consult with anybody with specialized knowledge? Or is this just like, yeah, electricity is a problem, so, I'll write some regulations about electricity, only to find out that you can't regulate utilities. Like, at this level, we can't. But we do. We mandate solar panel implementation, or at least construction. Can we even do that? That's a question. We can't make them use them. They can litter their property with solar panels. We can't make them use them. So, but that's all the stuff that either is ambiguous or is in these draft ordinances that we just know from, the Planning Commission has pointed out that it can't be done. So I implore you, please, start researching professionals there. I'm sure there are firms that have, what is that, Penn Now or Penn Live or whatever it is. Like, there are people out there that are way more on the cutting edge of this than we could possibly be. And if we start putting ticklers out to them, hey, we've done some draft ordinances, we need help. I think that if we put some lines out there, we'll get some nibbles. I mean, this is a nationwide hot button issue. It's an international hot button issue. So I don't want to do this again in July and be like, so talk to anybody, call anybody, any lawyers, any engineers, anybody at all, just to have you be like, no. So please, homework. It is yours, but I can't hire somebody for the township. I'd love to, but I can't. But you guys can. So if you'd like us to, I don't know, recommend anybody, we can do the same research that you can do, because this is not something that we know about. There's nothing different from the research you can do than the research I can do. And I think at this point, you have to do it. You have to do something. So with that, I yield. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Take it under advisement. Okay, any other public comment? Yes, sir?
John Swerrock, 715 Rich Valley Road. I'm really, really disappointed. I think you guys just kicked the rock down the road. You created a Bring Me a Rock organization. You took your skin out of the game. You created this group that you're totally independent of your authority and responsibility to the citizens of the community. This group can come up with whatever they want. You can look at it and say, nope, throw it away, go try something else. You have to have involvement. I don't care how structured it has to be, how organized, how many times you have to advertise it. You got to have your skin in the game. You can't kick it down the road to somebody else and then just ignore whatever they come up with because you don't like it. Thank you.
Okay, is there any other public comment? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. All right, motion made, second. All those signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for your input.